Like, you should be doing it, yeah? That ball, wasn't it? Oh my god! But he picked her for the fall, man. We are live, as I'm saying, Mr. Blitztech,
Revenue DO,
Birthday Jay,
and we're back with more Ahsoka, episode 5, part 5, Shadows of Warriors. You know what I'm saying? But before
Which
let's play Shadow Warrior, Shadow Warrior, let's tap in some comments. And who do we start with today? Well, you guys are going in with this comment. So we got Kaji Suzuki. I can explain a lot of this. Pre-Disney in Legends, people could learn to be force sensitive through spiritual training. While rarely as good as those born force sensitive could still become good Jedi, but the training required wasn't seen as worthwhile to either side. Also, remember, Sabine has been out of practice in Starfire combat. And since it's Ahsoka ship, she should fly it. Then Ahsoka in space is a callback to TCW show when Plo Koon had to fight droids killing survivors on top of an escape pod in space with clones. Also, it's not time travel or world between worlds. Thrawn's race belongs to a separate galaxy than where the story takes place. Sabine isn't as so much being reset as she's learning something new. She found her Mandalorian self in Rebels. They're just trying to bring stuff from Legends back into canon.
There's so much here. Firstly, appreciate the comment.
Yeah.
Secondly, when you're learning something new, you don't just forget everything you know in the past.
You add to it.
Yeah, like, do you know what I'm saying? It should be a combination of things. Like, so this is how new fighting styles get made. This is why in 2023, MMA is one of the fastest growing sports. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you had boxing and then you combined and you make something new, and then the new kids do that. Also, in terms of anyone could become a force user, I know this is in Star Wars. I'm aware of this in Star Wars. And I think for people who are as advanced in force using abilities as Ahsoka, it should be a joke to be trying to teach it to someone who has never learned it and also has a foundation in a different culture completely. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she shouldn't, but if Sabine goes from nothing, from I can't move a cup 1 week to I can push someone back like 2 weeks later, bro, you're kind of breaking Star Wars. And also, why do you want this?
Yeah,
that's why.
My thing to that is Sabine's never shown interest on the Force side. If you were some sort of like spiritual person who kind of like, you was a fan of it and you grew into it, all right, cool, there's a little chance. But the fact there was nothing there,
she don't even like
of
any
interest, why all of a sudden? Where does this come from? And this is where my confusion kind of comes from, you know what I'm saying? So
she didn't want to be Mandalorian, bro.
Exactly.
Now she wants to be a Jedi. Like, it's crazy, fam.
Yeah, man. It's mad. Like, we hear like it's easy to just like get information and put into things, but we also have to follow the story of how characters are, their experiences, and where they're going and where they came from. Do you know what I'm saying? So Sabine coming from a broken culture, which is this why she left the Mandalorians, right? And she was just like, she pretty much discarded the whole identity.
She was a traitor.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's not forget.
She almost got. I'm pretty sure she got people finished by the weapon.
She is a traitor.
She constructed
war crimes. Sabine, you man.
So
yeah? Remember, Sabine did Ahsoka. War crimes, you man. Don't forget the war crimes. Get me? They dropped man in the middle of the ocean for them things there. Yeah.
So yeah.
But I was about to say, is she actually Mandalorian though? Is she?
She's Mandalorian.
She's man.
Yes.
So she's not a Grogu.
No.
Okay.
Bruv, and don't do that, man. That's racist, bro. Grogu's Mandalorian, bro. Grogu's
I know what you meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant as well, but Grogu's Mandalorian.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm
bro,
saying?
a foundling's Mandalorian, bro. That's part of their culture, the foundlings.
Exactly.
It's not one of the It's not one of okay, look, yeah, bro.
Uh-huh.
You're walking down the street, you see a child, you pick it up, yeah, and you adopt that child. You've got no culture, no history of it. You're just looking after a child. That's one thing. You can say that's a gratitude out of your heart, yeah. But they have a thing. It's called foundlings. Like they go to places, rescue things, and like, do you know what I'm saying? It's part of their culture. So when they is a foundling, I'm not gonna ever deem that person not being I wouldn't question their Mandalorianness like that.
Right, but it was a situation with me where I was questioning between Jaren and
Grogu's there exactly the same situation.
No, the princess. Orange hair lady.
Yes. So because there's it's like 3 different factions in Mandalorian. That's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Because these lot they do foundlings, they don't remove the elements, while these lot don't do that and they remove the elements.
I mean, they never said that the other side don't do foundlings. You get me? Because he was found by the Night Watch.
Oh, was it?
In Jaren. They showed that when he was a kid, the Night Watch came down, they opened up the cellar, they was wearing that's them lot.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, well, the oldest of them, but that's the same thing. You get me? So, get me? Sabine's all over the shop, man. Get me? Do you know what I would love if that she never gets force powers and she just keeps trying to use it like forever? She's just like, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
I love that the force. I can't remember what her name is. The chick she was fighting. I'm not even gonna call her Padawan, but yeah, the chick she was fighting, Seraph or something, whatever her name is. You might know her name. No, someone help me out. Get me? She flinched. I love that she flinched when she did it because she anticipated energy and it was like, yeah, you're powerless. I love that.
But that's what I hate if they do eventually give her
powers
after the fact who has been saying you're nothing and then her saying you have no power.
Let me tell you how, bruv. I don't want to clap the show, but this is how dead the show is right now. They had a 2-minute monologue talking about don't separate, because we know they're going to this is how, but like at points the show is really bad, bro. Like, and at points it's like this is Star Wars, bro. It's all over the shop, bro. Like, just be better with your dialogue. Don't separate.
But everyone can't be raid, isn't it?
Bro, I hear that, but it's like you're beating us over the head with don't separate. That only means we're 100% no, you're gonna separate.
So when you say no power, you're 100%.
Yeah, bro. So it's just like, bro, be better. And this is why I was like, in the beginning, I'm going crazy when Ray Stevens is dropping his lines talking about experience. Like he's saying one word and getting off paragraphs of dialogue. Well, here, it's like, no, read every single word. Make sure that we all know what's going to happen in the next 4 scenes. Like, bruv, man, I'm trying to understand, like, there's an imbalance here going on, and I just don't, I can't groove with the thing, bro. Get me? Wow. Anyway, yeah. Hey, appreciate the comment, man. Sorry, man. Hey, got my triggered it.
It gets like that sometimes. Dr. Motherfucking Waffle House. A 1981 conversation transcribed with J.W. Brinslers. The making of Return of Jedi features Lucas screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan and director Richard Marksand breaking the story for the original trilogy's final installment. Lucas explains the rules of the Force to his collaborators, likening Jedi training to yoga and karate. Kasdan, the Force was available to anyone who could hold onto it. Lucas, yes, anyone can do it. Kasdan, not just Jedi. Lucas, it's just the Jedi who take time to do it. Marscan comes back and says, they use it as a technique. Lucas, like yoga, if you want to take time to do it, you can do it. But the ones that really want to do it are the ones who are into that kind of thing. Also like karate. Jedi aren't in a sole possession of the Force, nor are the Sith. While Jedi like Luke Skywalker have an easier path to wielding the Force, it's an ability Lucas believes is available to everyone.
I'm presuming that all of the comments are going to say all of this, and my answer to this is we know, and why Sabine? This is the only question. Like, this is why I don't like. I get you, man. Like, you like Sabine the character, and for some reason, it's like any character that people like, they're like, oh, they've got to have force powers. They've got to be a Jedi. Like the whole Finn situation as well. And I'm like, why? Sabine is a great character with a great history. She comes from a great lineage of people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she's been developed great, and it's like, you lot throwing this on her, for me personally, is unnecessary. And it's like, why are you trying to build this other culture on top of her? And you try to do it to Grogu as well. Like, and it's like, we don't need to go through this with, like, let her just be a bad boy, rogue, weapons, whatever, who is learning something that is gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense to me because, like, especially with how we're coming out of
The Mandalorian.
Like we're coming out of the Mandalorian. We're coming out.
Culture's on the rise.
We're moving forward with Star Wars. We're moving all the way. We're moving away from the Skywalker saga, and we're now attaching on to these people, this culture. Why are you trying to add that to here? Makes no sense to me. But wait.
And it's cool. And listen, I think that Sabine's force power should get to the point in Looper, you see, where she can just juggle a coin as far as there, bro. Like, and it's not even like every episode we're seeing her meditating and trying to go hard or trying to train. Yeah. You're saying it's available to everyone if you're tapping in. Bro, she's never doing that. When you go to Vader, all you ever see Vader doing is meditating. All he's ever doing is tapping in, bro. When he was Anakin, even Ahsoka, like they show Ahsoka like in the force so much, bro. Yeah. Never for Sabine, bro. Never for Sabine. Like, they're forcing it. And don't just eat. And I hate when people just eat up the force, bro.
That's funny.
Yeah. They just legitly too much, bro. This is how we get, you see Starkiller ripping down shit. This is how we get there. This is how we get there. Just make it, yeah, everyone can do it. What they did with my man in the Rogue One was the best thing I've ever seen them do with
the force is with me.
I'm one with the force. The force is
yeah.
That there is. And I would say that he's a high-level force user. For me, personally, high level. Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't manifest it the way these lot manifest it, but it manifests differently. Now, if you're going to do something like that, I'm backing it, bro. But just this whole, I see them lot raise their hands, so now I'm raising my hand shit. Bro, get out my bag, bro. Cultural appropriation, fam, of the highest order.
Stop selling glowing sticks.
Come on.
Go home. Change your life. Be a bad person. But yeah. Death Switch. Come on.
Good.
I'd be very shocked if we find Ezra and he's still a Jedi. He struggled with the dark side tendencies all throughout Rebels and he's been with Master Manipulator Thrawn for years.
That'd be the best thing ever. They open up that gate, Ezra steps out, red eyes, fully in there with Thrawn. And do you know why I love that as well? Because I've read the Thrawn Vader novel. Hard. And Thrawn getting a man's head still. And at the same time, Ezra's was kind of wishy-washy anyway. And that would be the only reason I'd be like, okay, it makes sense that now you wanted to make Sabine full Mandalorian and full Jedi if she's then going to have to take on Thrawn and Ezra alone.
But even then it's cheating.
It's super cheating.
Because it's like, what? How would she know who's going to turn it? Oh, let's just prep her.
It's super cheating, but it's these man do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect that level of corn, bro. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? I expect that, fam.
He says he could even be the Inquisitor looking guy because that can't be an official Inquisitor.
I mean, it can be an official Inquisitor. That could have just got recruited by this guy. Like, this guy's just recruiting anyone with the Force who comes around him. So, get me.
Yeah. Eye of Ra.
Come on.
Chase.
Good.
Okay, playing devil's advocate here.
Go on.
1. Bendu did take notice of her in Rebels but said nothing. 2. The dark saber came to her in Rebels. 3. She is House of Vizsla, which last Mandalorian Jedi was House Vizsla.
I concur with all 3 things you're saying.
However, why the reset button?
Yeah. Why Sabine? Why the reset button? But it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not. But if we're gonna say the last Mandalorian came from House of Vizsla, well, what was that Mandalorian doing? These are the kind of things that we also.
He was on job though. You're talking about the first Jedi Mandalorian.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because like we can just say, oh, like Jay from the Cybernerds, and then expect me and Sam to be the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
if we're not doing what you're doing,
you're not the same,
bro. We're not the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we come from the same house, but it's not the same thing.
I would expect that like if you was gonna be a Mandalorian Jedi to actually like to probably get the Force abilities thing first, and the Mandalorian thing to come at the same. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see like when you see him, in obviously you only see him like animated stuff, like in the background, but he looked like it was a perfect blend of lightsaber ability and Mandalorian thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like he's been doing it from birth. But what we're seeing here is just either I'm using my guns or I'm using this. There's no blend. It's not like she's trying to use the Force to enhance what she already does, like, and that's what I just don't get about it. Like, get me?
Yeah, there's no compliment to, like I said, each style. Like, she uses the guns, and goes for a lightsaber. Uses a lightsaber, then goes for a gadget. It's like, why aren't you mixing the two? It's a bit of a odd thing. And like I said, like, it feels like a reset because, like an episode ago, Hugh Young's training her. It's like, you're still not great, and now she's keeping up with.
You see that?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, so
That
everything's
muscle-
good, but then for me, it's just
muscle
mad.
memory works like that. Yeah, jeez.
Everyone's gonna keep talking about she's rusty.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. She couldn't even find the bullets on the gun on the table, bro. Her cartridge is right next to
Her
her.
eyes are rusty, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But she's going for a Mary Poppins bag like it's gonna pop out the other end, man.
You, man, listen, take me to the gym right now. I'm dropping 30 on you, fam. Rusty included, fam. Talking about I can't find my.
How you ordered but you ordered the dark saber,
This the chick, she built a weapon that clings onto man's armor and just eradicates everyone. She can't shoot one person, one shit. Stop it, man. And it's Ahsoka's shit. What? So we've been flying the Millennium Falcon all these years, bro. We've been, you know what I'm saying?
Need presets, bro.
My bad.
Program to your style,
yeah.
Jesus, come like a new Mercedes, isn't it?
Jeez. You ain't got the sports bike.
Profile, you need a profile, Oh, who's flying this thing today? Sabine's. Okay. Scott says, I'm really liking the vibes of this series so far. Feeling a lot more samurai vibes in comparison to Mando's Western vibes. I think part of this story is going to be Ahsoka's change. From the start, it really feels like she's trying to imitate Luke's vibe when training Sabine. When Sabine is much closer to her attitude, she should be imitating Anakin, but she's scared of to because of what happened to him. See, these are kind of stuff that, okay, we can tap into because we all know, like, people through experiences, that's how they're gonna act, you know what I'm saying? And maybe through some stuff that you was good at, some stuff that you failed at, you don't want to pass on to Sabine. That's cool, but we need to see it instead of we're just seeing Sabine over here trying to move a cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need more. We need to go in more into these things, innit? Because otherwise, people like me, I'm just gonna be like, I don't know what's going on here, like baffled for days, innit?
For me, also the best thing about this show is, like, again, the choreography of the lightsaber battle, even just the action in general. Like the shots, they draw way back. They have one person standing here, one person standing here. Like, you could just plainly tell that they've got these things from, like I said, samurai fights or just fights in general, and they know how to shoot those shots. But when it's everything else on top, when it comes to characters and storytelling, and it's just a bit like, I feel that's like the second full of the whole thing.
When it comes to the fighting, they've been going in, like, especially last
very
episode.
entertaining.
Like the whole thing with the
which one?
When the thing was spinning last one before Ahsoka gave him a
I hate
like that.
I hate that.
I loved it.
The reason why I hate this because, bruv, man tried to rip the thingy, the Obi-Wan against Maul finale, bro. And then man turned it off, and they do the one like, and it's not like, oh, that's the only time you can do it. You can do it more, and you did it with the Inquisitor spinning blade, which is in the animated. Like, when they do it in Rebels, everyone gets gassed. So I see what you tried to set up, the ultimate version of that. And I'm just like, bro, like, you're not executing it the way it's supposed to be executed, fam. Like, the rest of the other fight, I like, but like I said, I think they have perfected lightsaber fighting, bro. From episode 7 through 9, lightsaber fighting is now solid, bro. Like, it's never gonna go crazy again.
I hate it in the sequels, to be honest.
In the sequels, in episode 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
How?
The first one.
Forrest with
Ray and
Kylo.
Yeah,
crazy.
Like
that shit's legit, bro.
The only one was 8 with Ryan Johnson against Luke and Kylo Ren.
Oh, when it's
that's just Kylo Ren.
Is that when Luke's doing
just the dancing thing.
That was terrible.
That was crazy.
Oh no, but in the room, was that 8?
That was 8. No, that's 8.
That's 8. Okay, the room, that was
with
pretty
the
legit.
Red Soldiers.
Yeah, that was pretty legit. And then 9, what happened in 9? What was the fighting in 9?
There was no, bro.
There was none.
It was, well, them two fighting Ray against
Kylo
the
dream team.
on the fit. Kylo and Ray fighting on the broken ship in the water where she stabs him and he dies. That Luke thing was terrible. The Michael Jackson dancing
Yeah,
backflip thing. I don't know about that. But in terms of when they're not using in like CGI bodies and stuff like that, the fighting in the sequels for me is the best lightsaber fighting.
So the best one out of the trilogy for me would just be the Red Ring.
All of that.
Everything else was just bit. Even in 9 as well, when Rey and Adam were against the Knights, I'm like, what a wasted opportunity. That was, for me, crazy. Just threw that out there. These guys have been like ramped upon from 7.
They didn't know what they was doing.
Yeah, they just. They didn't know. They didn't know they was doing.
The comic book's even worse, bro. When they try to explain who the Knights of Ren are, terrible as well.
Yeah, that was that run was like a waste. But I was so gassed for it, and already I was like,
it's just, bro. They keep getting Jedi's and droids to write Sith stuff, and it's like, bro, get Siths to write the Sith stuff. Like, I just don't know. You man might not have too many Siths walking around in the office, but you need to go out and recruit Siths. Like, it's okay. We function well in the workplace as well. We just have a different definition. Like, bro,
choke holding people.
Get me, bro.
You must do. That's what they're scared of, isn't it?
But I'm just saying, like,
it's gonna help the material. Yeah, sure. I mean, that comes with the territory, isn't it?
We see Vader and Ren. It's like, what'd you say?
That's all I really want, bro. You can tell when a Sith is writing a Sith and when it's not, bro. Get me. George Lucas is the perfect guy who just. He's like the Bendu. He can do it. Yeah, he's the Bendu, bro. He can do it all, bro. But other man them can't. Just let them plug in where they're supposed to, bro. That's why Favreau went Mandalorian. He knows what time it is, bro. He knows what he's on.
Well,
was that all the questions?
Yeah. That is all. Appreciate you guys for sending those through. Keep them coming. And on that note, let's tap in to episode 5.
It's good to be Hayden Christensen back.
Nah, for sure, man.
But at the same time, I don't even know if I would have done it, man.
You know.
I would have saved him for something real, man.
No, I think the problem is with that, yeah, and I think this was been happening this whole season, is that you've kind of taken us out of this so many times that when stuff like this happens, which is, don't get me wrong, like you went in on it, but there is, in my opinion, I'm like, it's almost like I'm drained, so there is no reaction. We'll be like, yeah, the visuals are nice. Okay, you got the flashes. Yeah, we're going back to Clone Wars. But I think like because the damage kind of been done in your delivery of this series, when it's stuff like that, it's just like we all know, okay, the Dagobah training, she goes to the water, like she's, you're in between life and death because you're drowning. Oh, you choose to live. Okay, boom, boom. But like, the damage kind of been done. I feel like this is where it kind of needs to grow if it's going to go into the live directed movies, in it, like, because it's just, yeah, man. To me, that's what kind of took me out of this whole series.
I just think there's no weight, there's no impact to these things, bro. It's like the decision is to put Anakin in, but we're not putting Anakin in for bro. We needed to cast Hayden Christensen for one whole episode. For Ahsoka to have that training set, like she did, like, bro, what even happened in the training set? You know what I'm saying? Like, besides wanting to, okay, I want to have a scene with the Clone Wars, and besides wanting to have this, what was the actual point? What was you getting across to us? Like the lesson, the life or death lesson. I've got no clue what we're even talking about, really. Do you know what I'm saying? And why Anakin's delivering that to her, like. It just I don't know. Yeah, we're just here. We just hey, I want to do a live action scene from Clone Wars. So we put in. I want to put the Siege of Mandalore on live action. Boom. Hey, you was the first one to do that. I understand. He's got a checklist and he's ticking them off. But why? But what? Like, what does it? It doesn't give me nothing. I didn't feel nothing.
Yeah.
It hurts
no
me.
Reaction.
It hurts me to see Anakin on screen and have no reaction. And you want to flash up Vader when Vader's not present here. Vader's not needed for this, but you just want to do stuff, bro. It's just lifeless, bro. And I think that's really what yours, like, you're talking about execution. And for me, it's empty things, bro. It's not Anakin rolling on the ground with Obi-Wan screaming, "You are my brother." It's just, I want to use Anakin Skywalker. And this is why I worry when they start putting Vader in everything, bro. Because the more you see these characters, the more you start diminishing diminishing, bro. And I don't like I said, Hayden, I'm good that he's back and we get to see him. But come on, man. I'm not impressed. A decent episode.
I was gonna say like his directing chops for me they're pretty sick, especially going from animation to live action. It's pretty good. It's like
he's hard.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Hard.
There's no disputing that like the whole scene of everything is super good. Like even having almost seamless CGI with almost like realistic action stuff.
Yeah, they got to take for that, innit?
It goes really good at that. But like you're saying, the only issue is really don't leave your mind at the door. You start poking a lot of things, and it's like starts falling apart. It seems. So this isn't the last episode, though, is it?
No.
I was
It
gonna
felt
say
like
it felt like it.
It felt like it.
It's what I'm
It felt like it.
Which
Especially
wouldn't
because
be
the way
bad.
it was so long,
Yeah.
like the second part of
That's
it.
what I'm saying, but it wouldn't be bad if this was the last episode.
It should be.
Leaving it here would for me be perfect. Like,
We've achieved nothing. We've done nothing, and it's over.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, boom. We've done an Ahsoka series. If it's successful, going like there's still down the mystery of like the other side, especially for me, someone like me.
Bro, the thing is, you're saying someone like you. This is the same position we was in at the end of Rebels. They're gone. We don't know where they are.
Shut up.
It's just, bro, the whole show is getting to where we was at the end of Rebels, and that's where they just went. Like, this is where the show legitly leaves you. In Rebels, the end of Rebels is this. This is it.
No, that's fine then.
This is what I'm saying.
If it was the case.
This is what I said. It's like, yo, bro, it's the finale. Boom, well, let's just leave it, bro. I don't even know what we're doing in the other 2 episodes or whatever we're doing in the rest.
I think it's one more.
There's one more.
It's 7.
More.
Oh, it's just 8. Oh, I thought it was 6.
3. There you go.
That's even more mad.
Now we got the movie. Now we got the movie coming out. The actual movie, the Rebels movie, starts now.
you know what you were saying, like with like his whole, like the way he shoots and stuff like that. The reason why I'm not so blown away, and I kind of like we was talking about in the group, which one was the best animation series? You know, to me, I say it's the Clone Wars because it's got that cinema feel to it. So this is nothing. They haven't elevated from that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're already doing that with the animation. You know what I'm saying? So they understand the visuals and how they put bits together. But we need to grow out of this thing and have something meaningful to it.
You don't see this every day, though.
Oh, yeah,
For someone to go
absolutely,
from animation to live action, I think that's a feat, to be honest. 'Cause I can see what someone doing from animation, or even putting on paper to doing this. You don't see that every day. Or even just getting opportunities for that matter.
I hear that.
Not that I'm taking away from it, but you know, because it's kind of almost like you're used to it because you know we've gone through reruns of the thing. So it's like, to me, it's like I kind of seen it, like, yeah, it's live action, but I'm not that I'm taking away from it, but obviously I hear you saying
Filoni's hard, man. Filoni's been like directing the anime like it's live action since he's been involved. So I understand what Raven's saying, but I think my issue with it is just that I would like to see him direct something that's not written by him or the screenplay done by him. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that would then stretch him to where he needs to get stretched, because I feel like even though this is hard, it's still very much in his comfort zone in terms of like, I feel like he's got a lot of creative control over everything. Do you get what I'm saying? Not that that's an issue, but at the same time, in the way that he's been coming up through Star Wars, for me, as someone who's critiquing his thing, it is becoming an issue in terms of his characters are tying him down to doing certain things, and I would like that to be expanded. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Wales. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Why the whales? Why so many sperm whales?
He's been on Space Wars since the Clone Wars and Rebels. It's just creatures and futures, and
they have connections.
To
it's in the Rebels. It's been used with Ezra, so this is why I like it. Bro, this is legitly Clone Wars, Rebels, having the opportunity, like you said, to just live act. That's what we watched. That's exactly what we watched. It was almost like, oh, I didn't get the next season of said, let's say, Rebels. All right, let me come through with this thing.
That might even be the issue with this whole thing.
I think that's what it is, because that's what I was watching. I was watching the thing.
Not just that. It's like, you see what we're talking about going from animation to live action? This is like watching a live action animation, and it misses the life that a live action project,
right,
like a full live action project. Because I'm like, there's an emptiness in this that is not in the Mandalorian, and I think that's what it is.
And this is where you can see the difference between
And I was
Favreau and
'cause
my man.
I was thinking about the scene. I was thinking about the scene on the top with Jason and Chopper and Hera, and it reminded me of another scene in Rebels where it's like, you know, in animation, it's like the only thing that are happening are the characters. That's what it feels like. It's like nothing else exists except for what they're doing, and it feels empty. Do you know? I don't know if you man are staying with me on what I'm saying, but it's like this is what this is suffering, and I think maybe that's and this is why I'm talking about Filoni doing something that's not his own, because it's like I don't know how he gets away from that emptiness, or maybe someone else has got to fill that void or something. I don't even know what it is
exactly. This is
exactly.
what I'm talking about. He needs that growth, that aspect of making film. He needs that growth because certain things that he's bringing in not having impact, the deliveries of it, when it counts, especially when you're coming with the mad visuals and scenes and stuff like that, bro, it's gotta count. Yeah. This is where you're gonna get people talking about your stuff.
Tries to cover it up with shock value all the time. And with look at this, look at this. This is what I was saying in the
empty.
I was saying in the last episode, bro. You don't have to have 4 big events instead of like fleshing out one legit thing, and it's like he just does it more and more. Like, I'll take this. It's like the flash up of the Vader was good the first time he did it,
right?
But you didn't have to. He did 3 more times after that, like, bro. We got it, like. But he doesn't. Yeah, he don't. James Cameron, Way of War. I'm telling you, bro.
So I was about to say, what's just this filmmakers being filmmakers? Where like,
what's filmmakers being filmmakers, bro?
Like saying Cameron. Like, who else does it? There's like 3 people that
James Cameron deserves to do that, bro. James Cameron has been doing.
You don't.
No, but this is why it's not filmmakers being filmmakers. This is why it's like, bro, I could not like Way of Water and understand why he can do that. But Filoni, bro, we just got here, bro. This is not bro. You should be shelling and not trying to experiment, bro. Do you know? Or, do you know what I'm saying? Like, gas, man. Like, but like I said, if this is how man makes film, like, bro, hey, do your thing. I'm just saying, like, it's not vibes in here for me.
Yeah, and
it's not vibes in for me.
And you know what? Yeah. You know how all this just be like, yo, take the Star Wars episodes from these man and give it to you lot.
Yeah. It's not that, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
It's definitely not that.
Yeah, maybe just Favreau. Maybe just.
It's not even Favreau. I think Favreau's smarter than the situation already, bro.
Obviously, because obviously there's so many.
He better just clap Mandalorian and clap Mandalorian like and go Godfather somewhere else.
Now, yeah, I'm kind of retracting that now. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to do a Star Wars movie now.
Dude,
I'm Favreau. Like if they, like you're saying, like if they. I don't know, maybe the 8-episode thing, like they have to stretch it out so they're making set pieces longer here, and then character development has to get stretched out, so we have to find out by episode 8. Episode 1 matters the most. That obviously isn't great if certain scenes are like 10 minutes long, you're seeing sperm whales going across the screen for no apparent reason. For someone like me, has like no connection to.
Yeah.
But if you've got like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour, half like movie where you have to condense things, someone's helping you in the writer's room, be like, boom. This is what connects here and here, and you're having less of that stuff, then I want to see that happen. Because, like, for me, this live action stuff, like I said, it does look good, but
it's missing.
Yeah, man.
This is why I wouldn't be picking them, bro, because you're doing this and there's no substance here, bro. So yeah, it looks good. Then all the movies are gonna look good, but where's the substance at, bro? And for me, the most substance we've got from all of this Star Wars stuff has been in Andor and then been Rogue One. Like, Mandalorian's hard as well, super hard. But in terms of like the live action projects, get me like that, bruv.
That concludes today's episode of Ahsoka. We shall see you next week for some more. I'm Raven your DO.
Sam, Mr. Mistake.
Birthday Jay.
Peace.